Under the Ford administration, we were ranked number 1 to work in, number 2 to live in the entire world. We are now falling down to 17. There's a reason.
Welcome to the latest front when it comes to Toronto's war on the car. Folks, I'm standing on King Street. As you can see, what used to be a right lane of traffic is now cordoned off with this barricade. Down there, because we love to go green in this city, you can see planters. It's all taking out the right lane, which used to accommodate traffic, and it's all being done so that streetcars can have their way in the left lane. If you are daring to drive your car on King Street, you have to turn at the next available right-hand turn, or else you're going to be fined $110 and 2 demerit points. So, who's got something to say about this latest war on the car? Well, the man who would be the next mayor of this city, Doug Ford, he's going to give a press conference about it in just a couple of minutes.
$2 million of revenue taking the meter parking away from King Street. It's costing another $1.5 million of taxpayers' money to create this absolute disaster. Half of it's coming from the federal government, which is our money. The other half is actually debt. So he's putting us in debt to create more traffic congestion. John Tory's theory for traffic congestion is creating more traffic congestion and going after making sure that the people that drive cars, again 85% of them, don't come downtown. Stay away from downtown if you drive the car. And that's unfortunate. It's creating a problem for people coming into the city. It creates confusion, and the only thing that John Tory understands is the Tory ticket. So anyone who makes an accident or hangs a right by accident and goes down further than a block, he gets the Tory ticket. I'd like to give John Tory a ticket for creating congestion in the city. And I have one here specifically made up, the Tory ticket. Creating congestion in the city. And I don't see him getting 2 demerit points or paying $110 fine, but this is a Tory ticket.
Doug, a lot of people say that this is a 19th century transit solution for a 21st century city. If you became mayor, would you finally retire these streetcars?
I would. And it's funny you say that. I had some friends from Chicago come down, and they came along King, and there was a streetcar in front of them, and they said, what sort of antiquated transit system are you running here? You know, even someone from out of town realizes that these are 80-year-old streetcar, when we should, in my opinion, have articulated buses being able to go in and out of traffic. It's just, it's just ideas. Again, we can't close off streets and put a ban on the car. It's the King Street ban on the car, and this is just the beginning. It's similar to the Bloor Street bike lanes. It's similar to what they're going to do on Yonge Street. They want to put bike lanes from the top of Yonge all the way down to the bottom. Similar to what they want to do on the University Avenue. It's just the beginning. He's going to go full steam ahead. I can promise you that.
Why do we have a mentality at this council of war on the car, Doug? Is it because most of these councillors live like within a short walking distance of the city itself?
Well, I don't understand why they're creating a war on the car. Again, car is one mode of transportation. They have a war on taxi drivers too that can only go on Yonge from 10 p.m. till 5 a.m. in the morning. How can they put food on the table for their families when they aren't allowed to go on one of the busiest roads in the country? Again, one of the oldest roads, one of the busiest roads. We saw a picture of a car on King Street in 1926. We're almost 100 years of cars. But to ban cars on a street, again, I think the mayor, the cheese has slipped off the cracker when it comes to the mayor's thought process. People are simply saying what I hear, I'm not going downtown. Traffic's a nightmare to get down there. Once you get down there, you have to park and so on and so forth. They're avoiding downtown. And we want to attract large corporations down here. First thing they look at is how's the livability. And let me remind you about the livability of this city. Under the Ford administration, we were ranked number 1 to work in, number 2 to live in the entire world. We are now falling down to 17. There's a reason. The taxes are too high right now. The transit congestion is a nightmare in this city, no matter where you go. And we aren't going to make sure traffic moves quicker by putting bike lanes in, I can assure you, on main arterial roads. I'd like to look at going one way. I spent a lot of time in Chicago. Traffic moves in Chicago. New York's probably not a good comparison, 4 times the size. It's a little busy. But again, they have one-way streets. A lot of these large cities, London, have one-way streets. Let's try it. Maybe that's not the answer, but I'll tell you one thing, the Tory tickets right here are not the answer.
Doug, whatever happened to John Tory's Smart Track?
Well, I think that's still on the back of a napkin where it started 4 years ago, because Smart Track is dead. I'll never forget. 7 years, 22 stops. You got to be kidding me. It's 4 years and nothing's happened.
So what did we learn about this so-called pilot project? Well, probably it's not a pilot project. This is the new normal, putting flower planters on a live lane of traffic, or what was once a live lane of traffic, to accommodate that. For the Rebel.Media, I'm David the Menzoid Menzies. Like what you just saw? Then click subscribe below and never miss another Rebel video.